To watching News Desk on Joy News, the National Service Secretariat has increased the allowances of service personnel from 350 Ghana Cedis to 559 effective January 1, 2017. The development is among a number of last-minute moves the outgoing government is taking, begging the question, why now? But for beneficiaries of these initiatives by the government, it is with great joy and would not hesitate to thank the individuals involved in making these a dream come true. This precisely is the position of national service personnel who are serving in all sectors across the country. Were they expecting the latest increment at this time? What difference would this make in the expenditure? For some answers, I'm joined in the studio now by President Kojo S.A. Dankwa and Vice President Prince K. Bwache of the National Service Personnel Association. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to News Desk.
Hello, good morning.
You must be so excited about this new increment.
Very excited.
So let me start with you, Kojo. Was it something you bargained for?
Yes, thank you. Good morning to your viewers and good morning to you as well. This has been a fight which began some months ago. Somewhere in May, we had a national delegate conference where we discussed a lot of issues with the executive director and the scheme. All National Service Personnel Association executive across the length and breadth of the country met. And one of the key issues that were discussed was the service allowance increment. In fact, we bargained for this somewhere in April here in Accra.
So you asked precisely for the 559?
Well,
how much did you ask for?
Well, we said at least, if you are not giving anything, we should be giving 550 Ghana Cedis. That's what we said.
So that's more than what you expected then?
We said at least.
At least?
What
the maximum was what?
Well, that was the least we gave.
Okay.
That was the least we gave. So I think that our expectations have been met. It has been met.
So let me come to you, Prince. From 350 to 559, that's a huge jump.
Exactly.
And what's the expenditure for this?
Well, like Kojo rightly said, this increment has been met with so many calls, but all in all, we are very happy, and the national service people of Ghana, we believe, deserve a lot. These are people who travel to various destinations, irrespective of the conditions. They have to get accustomed to conditions that they were not used to before, and all in the name of rendering service to their mother Ghana. So I believe that the increment is in the right direction.
Yes, but I want to know, why did it become so necessary to ask for such amounts?
I think that...
What at all are you spending as a national service personnel that you need?
Well, national service personnel spend a lot. You know, what we need to consider is that these are people who are also youths. They spend just as other people outside do spend. All right, and before we assumed office, for about 3 years, there were no increment in the allowances. But we are all aware of the various levels of inflation that have hit this country in that period of time. So I believe that this adjustment is in the right direction in order just to be able to offset, you know, the inflation levels and all that.
You wanted to say something?
I would want to add something to what my Vice President just said. What do we use our money for? I mean, in fact, that's what you are trying to say. It's very simple. Actually, what you have to know is that most often than not in Ghana, when you complete university, your parents expect that you take care of yourself. And so when you are doing national service, you don't expect your parents to give you the money they used to give you when you were in school. Personally, when I completed University of Ghana, the amount of money that was given me every month, my parents decided not to give me again. What it means is that I had to depend on the allowance that was being given me to survive. Now, let's assume that you are a national service personnel. You are from the northern region, Navrongo to be precise. You schooled there, you did everything there. This time around, you have to do national service. You are posted to Accra Metro District. What it means is that you have to travel all the way from Navrongo to Accra Metro District. Here in Accra, the least you can get for a rent is 100 Ghana Cedis.
But are you saying that when you're posted to some areas where you are not originally stationed, that you're not given these accommodation and other stuff?
Nobody gives you accommodation, nothing. You're not giving anything. I mean, you look for accommodation yourself, you pay water bill. I pay water bill not less than 30 Ghana Cedis a month. Light bill not less than 80 Ghana Cedis a month. Rent is a little above 100 Ghana Cedis.
Why?
In fact, we even pay for toilet fee.
So hold on, are you saying that before you started your national service, you were not based in Accra and therefore you're forced to rent?
I'm talking for national service in general. All
but
national service personnel.
You just stated how much you are paying.
How much I'm being paid currently is 350. Now, before then, I was not renting. Before then, I was staying in a hostel on campus, and my parents were paying all these things. But because of the notion that when you complete university, you are to cater for yourself and all that. That is what pertains in the Ghanaian community. So what it means is that I had to rent myself, I had to pay for my water bill, I had to pay for all the necessary amenities. You understand? So what it means is that the 350 Ghana Cedis was insignificant. It was insignificant. So in fact, I don't know the hula balloon about the allowance increment and why the allowance had to be increased. In fact, before the allowance was even increased, we knew that allowance would be increased and it will take effect from 1st of January 2017. For the elections, we knew about this. And we believe that since governance is a continuous process, we believe in the incoming administration, we believe in Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the MPP, that even if there is going to be any review, the review will see to it that there will be an upwards adjustment other than a downward adjustment.
Hold on, Kojo. You're talking like you've already had an employment and you're expecting your employers to increase your salary based on the amount of work you do. But this is national service. This is where you're saying that this is my country, Ghana. This is what you've done for me from whichever level of education to the university level. This is my service to you. So you're actually not supposed to be given anything.
Yes, that is why it is not salary. It is allowance.
Okay, then why are you asking? Okay, we are paying this amount of these amount of bills. We are doing that. So increase it. That is like being employed.
Right. Let me come in here. If you're looking at it from the point of view that it is service to the nation, even the president is serving, the ministers are serving, the MPs are serving, and the fact we are serving does not mean that we should be given anything. You know,
but these are two different categories.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is that even though we are serving, we must be given some reasonable amount just to be able to ease our day-to-day service to the nation. You understand? For instance, he's talking about rent and all that. If the amount is not enough, for instance, you start national service, your parents just leave you all on your own. So if the amount is not enough to be able to take you through all these challenges, how do you perform your service to the nation? You understand? So the increment, I think, is a good thing.
So what is going to change after this increment? You're supposed to have it from January 1, 2017. Exactly. What is going to change?
So many things are going to change. In fact, even in the past, some people were being late because they could not have that kind of amount to be able to board transport to where they are, doing their service. What it means is that come January, they'll be able to go to work promptly. If indeed they were unable to get money for their upkeep, they were unable to get money to rent and what have you, come January, they will have enough to be able to do all these things. So many things are going to change. So many things.
Beyond the finances, let me find out briefly from you though. Are these the only things you're concerned about? There have been issues of people doing a particular course and being posted elsewhere, and they think that these are contrary to what they think they learned and they need to improve on moving into the job market. Is that something you've considered as well?
Well, the issue is that national service scheme takes into consideration the courses that students offer in giving them, where they have to serve. That is why they have models. So in the models, we have education, we have agriculture, we have health, so many models. But the issue is that you cannot put everybody specifically at where he or she studied or the area with studied. What it means is that some other people would have to be put at places where they may not have idea about what they are going to do, but they may, learn on the job and all that.
Your final words.
I would say that since this the release of the increment yesterday, there's been a lot of hula balloons about the increment, especially from the area of the incoming government. But I think that these are people who work tirelessly for the nation, irrespective of the fact that the increment has come in a time that a lot of people think is not appropriate. But we should know that the people deserve it. And we believe strongly in the incoming administration that when they come, even if there will be a review, they will still maintain it, or at least it wouldn't be something far from the current amount.
Mr. President, your final words?
Yes. What we are saying is that we are very grateful to the National Service Secretariat. We are grateful to the government, and we are grateful to all the necessary stakeholders who made sure that there was an increment in the allowance of service personnel. And we are assuring national service personnel that indeed we are there to serve them, and we are going to do our best to ensure that their plights are alleviated. We are going to ensure that whatever their needs are, they are met.
Thank you very much. And Kojo Dankwa is the president of the National Service Personnel Association, and he was here with Prince Kwame Boakye, the vice president of the association. Thank you very much, gentlemen, to passing through our studio to share your views with us. You're still watching News Desk on Joy News.